you are responsible for your life or you don't trust anybody, therapy is an option. When someone is damaged, all they want to do is damage other people. Your pastor is not your God. My brother called me a motivational speaker, so maybe I'm meant to be a motivational speaker. Maybe.
She a little bad, hit her with the bag, yeah. Put it on the tab, don't know how to act. Yeah.
Hey guys, so I'm still working. I just finished watching a video. Do you guys watch Stories by Femi Lazarus? He's a pastor in Nigeria, and he invites people on his show to kind of like talk about their life experiences and what has happened to them in the past and how they've overcome it or how they are overcoming it. And he talks about healing. I like watching his videos and I like listening to him because this is real shit. Like this is what people are going through. Like this is real stuff, right? So I like watching it because I don't know, I just like listening to people's stories. I like listening to people's lives. I like listening to, people's how people reflect on the things that happen to them. But anyway, this one that I just watched, it's about, you know, her getting married and her husband having molesting a child. She had a child before she got married, and after she got married, the man was kind of like doing things to her daughter, and she also talked about her own like personal experiences, losing her mom when she was really young, um, in an unfortunate accident, and having to just figure things out. And the story just highlights the impact or the importance of parenting or parenthood or parenting in a child's life. Why bring children into this world to suffer? Why bring children into this world that you don't genuinely like want to protect and look out for? Yeah, she lost her mom, and before her mom passed away, she was pampered. Like she was the type of child that, was well taken care of. She was looked after. She was pretty much a loved child. But then her mom passed away, and she something happened. She had something with one person. She got pregnant while she was still young. I think she was in SS1, so I don't know what she didn't really say the age she was when she had her first when she got pregnant. And even the doctor was telling her that like if you want to like not go through with it, it is an option. But she chose not to, right? Like not to go that path and decided to have the child. And because of that, her father sent her out of the house. Her father stopped showing her love or affection or even like looking out for her or thinking about her or reaching out to her, all of that. So her life was pretty much went downhill after she lost her mother. But I wanted to even like highlight some of the things that she said, right? And I felt like these are important like perspectives or important things to know or to consider when you're in a situation where life is just difficult. Like you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's just pretty much pain, chaos, and darkness that you can you can feel or you can see or you can experience or you can just assume to experience because that's all that you've been feeling, right? And it will I don't know, I don't want YouTube to kind of like affect my video, but she was just trying to say that like offering yourself is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. And that is so true because you might think of it, and when your brain starts to like ruminate and dwell on like suicidal thoughts, these are things that are likely to you know come up for you, feeling like, oh yeah, there's no hope, there is literally no other way around your problem. And the fact that she did not you know of herself, she's now here now where she's like having options, where she's having hope, where she's actually seeing herself making impact and helping other people, right? And yeah, we do go through things that are not necessarily pleasant, but I feel like there is purpose in every pain and every problem that we go through. Even though that you are suffering, there is something for you to take away from that problem. There is like a purpose. There is something for you to learn. And if you frame your mind, or you frame your perspective as to like understanding and investigating, like, what is the lesson from this? Like, what is there for me to, why am I going through all of this? What is there for me to learn from this? I feel like how that's kind of like my perspective on life. Like, I always think things don't just happen for the sake of happening. I still truly feel like everything that we've gone through in our lives, God wants to use that for our good. I'm not, I'm not trying to preach at you or like tell you, oh yeah, your problem is okay. Like, it's okay for you to suffer because it's gonna eventually be used for your good. Like, that's not what I'm trying to say. But what I'm trying to say is, like, don't give up. Don't give up. And if you are the type of person, you know what? Let me finish my thoughts. Let me finish this. Don't give up. There is purpose to your life. All of us, we came to this life like before we were born. Like, He knew us. He sent us here for a reason. God sent us here for a purpose, and we are all going to have like different life experiences because we are all not meant to be doing the same thing. We are all not meant to be, to have the same life, because what would now be the point if we are all have like experiencing life the same way? I don't know if it's making sense, but like, what would be the point if we are all experiencing life the same way? Like, life is just going to be, we're all just going to be the same, right? Like, so if we are all going to be the same at the end of the day, then what is the point of you being here, right? I hate that, some of us have to suffer, or like some people have to suffer in order to be able to, contribute, teach something. Even this pastor Femi Lazarus, like, he has also gone through his own problems in life. Like, I was watching one video where he was talking about his experience with his step parents, I think stepmother, how she maltreated him, how she, almost even killed him at some point, right? Like, that positioned him for where he is today, where he's able to provide healing to other people by listening to their stories, by inviting them to come and share their stories, by also being a pastor. Because when you have the word of God, you are able to. I feel like the word of God is kind of like a mindset shift. It gives you a perspective shift. It takes you away from the victimhood, and when you're in a state of victimhood, you cannot change anything. Like, you're just like, it's kind of like you're condemned, right? Like, you cannot see again the light at the end of the tunnel. So I guess we are not all meant to experience life the same way, because if we were meant to do that, then we'll all be born to only one parent, and we would all have the same experiences. Even children from the same parent, from the same household, they don't have the same experiences. So if your life is not, perfect, it's not free of trauma, it's not because there is something wrong with you as a person, but more like, that is life. That, like, this is life. This is the world. The world is not perfect. The world is not rosy. Like, even if we want it to be, like, we are on earth. Like, you're not in heaven. Heaven is perfect. Okay? So we are likely to be in situations where we are going to suffer. Like, that is just the world. And having a relationship with God, or being close to God, or wanting what God, seeking God's mind in the things that we go through, or seeking God's, you know, understanding of the things that we are going through, like positioning ourselves from like a perspective of, okay, what is God trying to do here? Like, what transformation is about to happen for me, right? Like, positioning your mind that way allows you to navigate these difficult situations better, right? I'm not saying that life is gonna be perfect because you're now a believer, or because you go to church. Life is not gonna be perfect, right? So you're gonna suffer. It's just the nature of the world, right? Even if it's just like maybe failing an exam, there's suffering that comes from that too, because you don't want to have to repeat a class. You don't want to have to spend more money on whatever it is that, on the semester, right? Suffering is part of life. The feeling of sadness is part of life. It's something that would happen, right? And, you know, don't now because of your suffering now end your life because, you know, you don't really see the light at the end of the tunnel. I don't know if what I'm saying is making sense, but I really hope that it is, because this woman, she listening to her story, like my heart was just going bang, 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 bang. Because I'm like, how can one human being go through all of this? How? Like, she lost her mom at a really, really young age. She was almost raped by somebody that she trusted. She finally like got into a thing with a guy that she thought, cared for or loved her. He got her pregnant. He denied the pregnancy, denied her, even though he was the one that actually, like, it was her first. He denied her, he denied the pregnancy. From there, she got married to a man that, no, oh, yeah, she also got HIV. She became HIV positive by having an affair or being in a relationship with the man that positioned himself to be somebody that, that was not married. No, actually, she knew he was married, but she still went ahead with having an affair with him, and then she ended up pregnant. Of course, she had gone through a lot of adverse childhood experiences. Of course, these are she would allow herself to stay in situations that are, or she would accept situations that are not necessarily ideal because she doesn't consider herself to be worthy of something better, right? She doesn't consider herself to be worthy of something better than what she was being offered. Anyway, yeah, don't, what am I trying to say? Don't give up on life. Don't give up on life. Like, we are all going to go through experiences. Some of them might be the most painful thing that you cannot even open your mouth to say to anybody, but it is not the end of the world. If you are still here, if you are still alive, then there is a purpose to your life. There is something that God wants to do with you. There is something that there are people that are also going to, and this is why I like content creation, because it actually allows you to see that whatever you're going through, you're not the first person to experience it. Like, there's somebody that has gone through it, and now there's somebody in that position that you were wishing that, you know you had this information, you had this knowledge, you had this um other side of things where you actually like overcame. But while you're in it, you will not know that you're going to overcome unless someone tells you that or shows you that or is willing to listen to your story. Right? And that's why I really like watching his videos, because it shows you that, yeah, people are going through things. And if you've gone through them, it's okay because you can actually come out of them. Anyways, another part is having relationship with pastors. Like, just the way she was talking, with your pastors, the relationships you have with your pastors. The way she was talking, she sounded like somebody that really like hold pastors in high regard, right? Like, they feel like if they have to make a decision, they need to seek the pastor's consent or the pastor's opinion or the pastor's perspective or the pastor's go ahead. Like, the pastor has to be the one to approve whatever it is they want to do. For somebody that, was pushed away by her father when she was in a situation that was, considered deadly anyway. Because what the hell, like, she was in a very, very like difficult situation, and her father did not show up for her. Like, she pretty much has like father issues. Her father did not show up for her. She's in a relationship with men that are like not good people. Every time she's interacted with a man, like, she even talked about how like she was living with her aunt or somebody or a family friend or somebody, and the person's husband was doing the same thing, like, and she could not share it with anybody. She could not tell anyone because he made it seem like as if she did, it was gonna be she wasn't gonna be believed, and she also did not want to go back to her father's house because her father remarried and her stepmother was did not like her. Her stepmother did not treat her right. These are father issues. These are father wounds. Anyway, you know, having this relationship with your pastor and just making your pastor your father, because that was how she referred to her pastor, like father. Like, I know that based on how she talked, she didn't necessarily experience like she didn't have any bad experiences with her pastors in directly. However, she did have bad experiences with other men, right? But the point I'm trying to make is that you really need to be cognizant of who you put in that position, right? Like I feel like the position that she's placing the pastors in should be the position that she should have God in. Like God, like yeah, your father did not show up for you, but God should be your father. Like you should not be your pastor. But she did talk about like how she's been helping other children, other women, other girls, and those girls have also shared with her like the kind of bad experiences they've had with pastors that were meant to be people that they can trust. Like from her own personal experience, she's had like I guess good experiences with pastors. But if somebody like that is teaching those girls that if something is going on for you, whatever your pastor says, just take it and believe it, and your pastor is always right. You know, these are the issues. These are the issues, and I ain't gonna lie. Like one of the reasons that I'm kind of like not pro religion, but not necessarily like, what am I saying? I'm not pro religion, but I'm pro like spirituality, like being in a relationship with God. Is because at the end of the day, these pastors, they are also humans. They are they are men. They are likely to have weaknesses. They are likely to make mistakes. They are likely to say the wrong thing. They are likely to be biased. They are likely to preach from their own personal life experiences and their biases. And, like they are not perfect humans. So for you that has a problem, right, as a human as well, like we've all experienced problems in our lives, to now hold another man in high regard because they claim to be pastors, that's problematic for me. That's problematic for me because why do you think that? I don't know, like we want to believe that, you know, because they have a relationship with God, they are going to be good people. But let me just tell you, being a pastor does not make you a good person. Mic drop. Hi, I'm going off. I'm rambling. But she said so many things that I want to address because sometimes you listen to these stories and you're like, how can one human being go through all of this? And let me tell you, and she was like, even after she found out that her husband was molesting her child, she still wanted to stay in that relationship. She still wanted to be married so bad. She found out that her husband got someone pregnant. She went to her pastor to tell her pastor. Pastor told her to go back to her husband and ask for forgiveness. There's some stories you hear and you're just like, who in their right mind is going to tell you that your after everything I've said about the husband that she married, right? The pastor told her to go back and ask her husband for forgiveness. I'm not exactly sure what part. And again, initially, her husband she was HIV positive, so it wasn't a thing of oh yeah, she's hiding it from her husband. She she and her husband went to get tested together. They found out on the same day that she was HIV positive, but he wasn't. But they still continued with the marriage because there was a way to go about it. Again, life does not end because you're suffering or you're going through problems. I promise you, there is light at the end of the tunnel. I promise you, there is better, there is more, there's healing if you just want it. You have to want it badly. Like you have to step in the main character role of your life. Like you are responsible for your life. God is responsible for your life. But what I mean by you're responsible for your life is that you have to like be you have to be an active participator. That's a word. You have to actively participate in your own healing. Like you have to seek it because if you don't seek it, you will not receive it. Do you get what I mean? So yeah, maybe I'll make a video talking about this, like going in depth into it. These are conversations that I'll be having with my friends, but I'm just like, I just watched the video now and it's on my mind. I just wanted to talk about it. My point is, your pastor is not your God. Two, offing yourself is not, is, yeah, as she said, right? Offing yourself is a permanent solution to a temporary problem, right? So I promise you, there is hope. You just have to want it. And to want it, you have to believe it. You have to like, you have to believe it so badly. Like, things will be better for me. And if you're a woman and you've experienced a lot of the things that I mentioned, I promise you, you are not you're not condemned, you're not damaged, you're not, there's no shame. There's nothing for you to be ashamed about. If anything, it's the people that did those things to you that should be ashamed. There is nothing for you to be ashamed about. You are perfect, you are beautiful, you're a good human. You you can you can help other people. I am sorry this happened to you. I am really sorry that you you had to be in such a vulnerable position. Like, I am truly truly sorry that you were you were taken advantage of. I am sorry that you don't feel like you matter enough, because why would someone to do that to you if you mattered, right? Like, that's probably the thoughts that you would be having. Like, if I am important enough, if I matter, why would someone do this to me? But I promise you, this is their own weak. It's the person's weakness that is imposing this damage. They want, like, when someone is damaged, all they want to do is damage other people, because they just feel like in order to manage the shame, in order to manage the pain, they need to they don't know better. They can only impact pain on other people. And I'm not saying this to excuse them, but I'm saying it to let you know that it happened because they were weak. It happened because they were not willing to, it happened because they were not willing to be accountable for their own healing and for getting better. So I promise you, even if you are suffering right now, it is not the end of the world, and it is going to get better. I promise you that it is going to get better. I don't know. My brother called me a motivational speaker, so maybe I'm meant to be a motivational speaker. Maybe. I'm just very like, I care so much about the human experience. Like, I care so much about, you know how your life goes, right? Because that's something that I am becoming, aware of, because I know that, like, whatever experience you have, like, however your life goes, to an extent you do have an influence on it. Like, it doesn't have to just be. You can actually, like, take control of it to an extent, right? So I hope this encourages you to actually take control of your life. I hope it encourages you to know that there's light at the end of the tunnel. If you feel like you don't have any, like, mature or authority figure in your life that you can talk to, or you can seek for help, or you don't trust anybody, therapy is an option. Like, a therapist is a third party or a second party, I don't know, that can listen to you and actually help you, or give you the resources that you need to heal and listen to you. There's power in sharing your story. I'm telling you guys, there is like, there's power in sharing your story. So don't think because you've experienced something bad, like, you should be ashamed of it. Nope, do not be ashamed. Shame is for the devil. So don't take it on. Don't wear that. Don't. Yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am really glad that you know I'm back. Yeah, I'm excited I'm back, okay? And I'm happy that I'm able to kind of like share my perspectives and my thoughts and opinions on some of these topics, because I feel like, I've gone through my own share of experiences, and I carried shame for a long time. And I'm just glad that that's behind me. Of course, you're going to have moments where you still feel shame, like, that's normal, but don't wear it as an armor or a thing of pride, right? Like, let it go, let go of that shame, and be accountable for your healing. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye. Oh, also make sure to subscribe, share the video, leave a comment. I'd actually like to hear you guys' perspective on what I just talked about. I want to know, like, what is your experience with shame? Like, if it's something that you're not too shy to talk about, in the comments. You can send me a follow me on Instagram, guys. I don't know. I don't know. I'm still trying to navigate this Instagram and YouTube. I don't want you guys to have access to me. That's why I'm back. Okay. So however I can help, really, I really want to help. So if it's to make another video talking about this further, or to invite my friends to also talk about this further, I would love to do that. So leave a comment. Tell me your experiences with some of these things that we've talked about. And if you've never experienced them, I'm glad. And, let other people share their stories without, interjecting or making them feel like problems or whatever. Like my comment section is open. So don't go under someone else's comment and be making them feel bad for whatever they share. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Subscribe, share, and like the video. Bye.
She a little bad, hit her with the bag.